Good day, loves. Welcome. Welcome back. This is episode 92. Yeah. Of the Holistic Freedom Secrets podcast. The only. Yes, our daughter is in between waking and sleeping. And this is perfect because we're talking about sleep hygiene today. Getting your rest. Getting your rest. And yes,
I'm like, what do new parents have to say about getting sleep?
get you a grounding mat. Well, I mean, that's helped me.
For those of you who don't know, our podcast follows our 5-prong healing system, which consists of the concepts be, cleanse, fuel, move, and shine.
Yes.
Today is Tuesday, so it's cleanse day. And we're going to get into some restorative sleep patterns because just because you're asleep doesn't necessarily mean that you are in restorative sleep. You know when you wake up or when you're in the middle of your day if you've slept well or not. But you don't know during sleep whether you're sleeping well or not. And so preventive self-care, preventive self-love, if you will, is necessary to make sure that you're going to get a good sleep. And we have some tips to share with you for restorative sleep. So if you want to hit the comments with your, routine to make sure that you get good and restorative sleep every night, then feel free to do so.
Yes.
We're going to give you our, tips and routine enhancements, if you will.
Like little sprinkles.
And then we'll get out of here.
Right on. So the topic is restorative nights, simple steps to sleep like you mean it. And if sleep has been elusive, okay, for you, if you have had trouble staying asleep throughout the night, I mean, if you're a nursing mama, then you probably have to get up a few times in the night just to feed your baby. But if that is not the case, you just need some good rest, right? So this is why we're diving into supporting ourselves with sleep, so that we can actually show up in our lives and be well rested, have the energy to see our tasks through. And when we have sleep, it's like, it's so good, because when you feel really, really and truly well rested, it's like a whole new day. It's like, can you feel a brand new day? Like in The Wiz when everyone was dancing and cheering, and or at least sometimes that's how I feel. Very happy about being well rested. Like it's a whole win. Like I already won and I just woke up, So especially as new parents, that it can be a little more of a challenge to attain a restful, full night's worth of rest. So, the tips that we're going to be getting into, I feel like they will be really helpful.
Mm-hmm. So why does it, matter? Because there are advantages to being well rested that you have in regard to productivity, in regard to mental clarity, and in regard to emotional regulation that you have over yourself when you did not sleep well and when you did not restore. So the first thing that we want to get into is tech detox, right? To limit your screen time and tech time before sleep.
I was scrolling there and I was looking for the tech detox, and it was the first thing on the screen. Don't worry about it.
It's okay. Yeah. So the reason why there was a pause and we looked at each other was because I I
You
was
was like, why you
referencing the
scrolling?
notes. Well, I was referencing the notes and kind of reading the notes as I was saying that introductory statement so I could get it in my head. And right as I'm doing that, Tensi scrolls the notes off the page, off the screen, so I couldn't read it. So anyway, phones, televisions, radios, uh, um,
iPads,
iPad,
TVs.
uh, yeah, I said televisions.
Oh,
These things emit frequencies, and that's light frequencies as well as sound frequencies and electric frequencies that excite your cells and excite uh, your eyes and make you alert and make it harder for you to fall asleep. For most people that fall asleep with the TV in the background, meaning they kind of fall asleep with the TV, that's actually an effect of your body shutting down because your brain is just going
overloaded.
with this background noise that it's entering. Your brain is not coming to a state of rest, and so your body just shuts down, and that's why eventually you fall asleep. And when you do that over and over and over again, especially when you do that, since you were a teenager and now you're 54 or something like that, um, it it becomes both a problem and a dependency. And so you develop a belief that makes it harder for you to to get your mind into a state of rest, because there's a belief that you need the background noise, especially like of a TV, specifically of a TV, in order to get rest, period. But in reality, what's happening is because every time your mind would start to slow down enough for you to stop thinking and start to drift off to sleep naturally, you're consuming content, you're consuming the advertisements and the shows and laugh the laugh tracks and the clap tracks of the television. You're not actually resting your mind. Your mind is staying really active, and it's constant, right? Because the TV doesn't stop. TV used to stop after a while. It doesn't stop anymore. And so the especially with the television, there's constant go. There's no slowing down. There's no stopping of the mind activity, and therefore your body just eventually shuts down.
You were checking the YouTube
Yeah.
comments.
Grand Rising, what's going on, youngin? Um, you fall asleep by accident. I don't know.
REM sleep is like a state of sleep.
I REM sleep by accident. Cool. I don't know what you mean by that, but all right. And lastly, same with the phone. If you're scrolling, and then eventually you fall asleep, and then you do that over and over and over again because you just girl because you're just scrolling. That's you fall asleep because your body shuts down in response to your brain not slowing down, even though it's nighttime, even though you've been in the same position for a long time, things of that nature. Your body will shut down because your brain can't stop moving. So fasting for at least an hour, maybe 30 minutes to an hour and a half before bed with no technology will help keep your sleep very natural and your drift off into sleep very smooth and not jagged automatic shutdown.
Not hijacked
Yeah.
by the screen frequencies. One thing I will mention is if y'all are like us sometimes, one thing that is helpful to fall asleep to, like say it's just you've tried to turn everything off and just be dead quiet and in the space around you, and you just have trouble relaxing enough to fall asleep, then getting into high frequency sounds can be good, but just put your device in another room. whether it's in the bathroom or in the living room. You have the TV in the living room going and it's playing like high frequency music, like 432 hertz or something like that. And it's like either nature sounds or rain. Some people like rain, whatever sounds that you like. Okay. Have that play in the background, and that can actually help your body heal as it's falling asleep.
Oh yeah, and dudes, mostly dudes. Stop with the adult content before bed as well. Just quit.
Speaking, speaking, speaking from the male perspective. Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
mostly men. I mean, there's also millions of women, but just it's if we look at percentages, it's definitely very much a male thing, especially like if it's like habitualized and stuff because you guys cycle through all of that. So anyway, quit the adult content altogether, and that way you won't have to worry about it for the context of sleep.
okay. So, moving on, we have we got to talk about coffee. We got to talk about coffee. Sometimes people think that if they, I didn't have any coffee after work, so I should be fine when it comes to falling asleep. But there is this delayed kind of response. So, um, coffee it takes about 6 hours for it to really just process through your system. So your body's like, and that's not just coffee, it's all caffeine. So even if you don't have coffee, but you like caffeinated teas or things like that, green tea is a bit more mild, matcha is more mild, but still caffeine, stuff that has a lot of caffeine in it is what we're talking about here. Even some sodas, right? Phew.
Has a half-life of about 6 hours staying in your systems.
Yeah, so it'll stay in your body for about 6 hours after you drank it. So let's say you had it, but it was like all that time ago, you're not even worried about it, and then you're trying to go to sleep and you're wondering why you're having trouble falling asleep. That might be something to play with, experiment with. See how you do if you push your coffee to way, way earlier in the day if you have coffee. Or if you want to support your digestive system and still get that energy uplift, what we have used in the past is something called maya nut. It's really a seed, it's not a nut. So if you have any nut or seed allergies, this doesn't trigger that. It's allergen free, gluten free, and caffeine free. But it gives you the same energy uplift that coffee does. It tastes like coffee to me. It gives me that taste that reminds me of coffee, and it it brews the exact same way. You can brew it exactly like coffee. It comes roasted as well and already ground up. So Maya also called Ramon seed or Capomo. 3 different names for it. That will see you through. It doesn't give you jitters. It doesn't have you crashing. And instead, it's like a superfood. So it's supporting your digestive system and it's like getting rid of free radicals in your body that are like looking everywhere for free electrons and like grabbing it from healthy things and making them unhealthy. Anyway, so
mostly this coffee note is for like the working mom, especially the working mom at desk job, and most working moms are at desk jobs.
Or working from home, but you just like your sleep just wasn't cutting it, so you turned to coffee.
Yeah, you can imagine the person in the cubicle, and it's 3 o'clock and they're really tired, but they still have 2 more hours of work before 5. And so they drink another cup of coffee, stuff like that. Well, you want to try and stop with the coffee as early in the day as possible, aiming for maybe around noon. And utilize other things that can keep your energy up, especially good nutrition, which we talk about on fuel days. And I just wanted to add that at the end that this is, mostly a tip for those that are very up here with the work that they do, and so they're 4 o'clock or whatever, almost 5. Let's say you work until 6 or whatever, and you're drinking a cup of coffee at 5 p.m. to make sure that you get through this last hour. It's not worth it for your restorative sleep practices. Now, you already touched on the digestive system
Not really.
a little bit, but there are meal timing tips that we also want to add in. And of course, I'm going to turn it to Coach Tensi for this one.
Yes, because each and every one of your organs has a certain time of the 24-hour day that it needs to have some resting time in order for it to cleanse itself, to heal itself. When it comes to our digestive system, that mainly happens at night. So when the sun goes down, wherever you are, that's when the best time is to like stop eating. But at least you wanna rock out with um, 3 to 4 hours before bed to give your body enough time to have digested before you go to sleep, so that you're not like having these, like have you? I don't know if anyone's ever seen like in a cartoon growing up or a TV show they mention, um, having food dreams, right? You eat something spicy or you eat something super late, and then your dreams are like all vivid and crazy and stuff. Well, that is real. Like that happens to people. That's happened to me. And so instead of having like your heaviest meal last and right before bed, what if you finished your last meal 3 to 4 hours before bed, and then if you needed to have something later into the evening, then make it like a fasting snack. So that would be like a spoonful of almond butter or nut or seed butter, right? If you're allergic to almonds, it's fine. Okay, sunflower seed butter. Okay, or if it is like herbal teas, like having some herbal teas, drinking some water, like having a something's very light. Going for light things to eat, light bites is the key to think. All right, stuff that's not gonna take a whole long time to digest. And also, it's best if it doesn't pull you out of that fasting state. So, one spoonful of almond butter will keep you in there, for sure. Yeah. Um, so that's the tip for when it comes to eating before rest. And of course, like you probably heard the phrasing. Somebody great grandmama probably mentioned it, or you maybe saw it on YouTube, or I said it, because I sound like someone's great grandma sometimes. And it's basically you want to have breakfast like a king, lunch like a queen, and dinner like a pauper. So the things that are lighter
What is
on
a
your digestive system, a pauper, Pauper. I believe that's how you spell it. I was not in the spelling bee, but that's basically like a poor person, like a one of the
pauper?
pauper.
Poor person.
Pauper. Yeah,
A
so
peasant.
yeah,
A
like a
commoner.
peasant, a commoner. So something that it will tend to be lighter on the digestive system, whether it's a smoothie or a soup for dinner, or like just stuff that's not super heavy and super big much. We're not trying to have Thanksgiving dinner for dinner
Yeah.
super late.
So another tip that we have for you guys is cleaning your room where you sleep before bed. It's a a little 5 minute straighten up. We're not talking about
Tidy
pulling out the glass cleaner and
in the vacuum
the vacuum. Not
every
that
day.
much,
No.
but putting all clothes and kids' toys and things like that away. Uh, Maybe taking a little paper towel to dusty surfaces like your dresser, your bedside table, nightstand, if you will. Um, just
Tidy.
cleaning and tidying up your room for 5 minutes at night. If you have a bathroom that's connected to your room and you like to leave your bathroom door open at night, making sure that bathroom counter space is uncluttered and the things are put away in their proper drawers, and even if there's stuff on the counter, it's in its proper kind of place and organized. As doing this activity, not only will it make you more tired, it's productive, right? It makes you tired.
Yeah.
And
I'm sorry.
but it will also make you it'll give you a sense of euphoria every night before you go to bed, and euphoria is a good actual sleep aid. When you feel cozy, you can fall asleep, right? And so when you look around at a clean room and you know that your efforts made it so clean and organized and not dusty.
Little pat on the back.
Yeah, it's like your body gives you a little pat on the back and you feel cozy, and so you get into bed, no screens, and you drift off to sleep nice and smooth.
And let's say your space is already clutter free. If you would like to, you can play around with stuff like temperature and or lighting or scents. So here's some tips that for people that are super sensitive to like incense and candles and things like that. Then get you an essential oil diffuser. Put like a drop of lavender in it if you like lavender or whatever essential oil you like.
Although lavender is a relaxant, it will relax you.
It will. It will. It will. That and chamomile.
Now, of course, I wouldn't do this without a wife. So if you're not a woman or you're not, but
I wouldn't hate on you if you.
yeah, but I just wouldn't do it. It just wouldn't.
Okay,
happen.
some other tips. Temperature. So for temperature, and this is great for my ladies out there, if you've ever experienced a hot flash, going through perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause, your alarm's going off, babe. To you can play around with temperature, or if you're not adverse, if you don't get a visceral reaction to me mentioning bringing the room down to 66, 68 degrees. Then studies actually show that that does help if you can fall asleep in between 66 to 68 degrees at night, which to me is hecka cold. So
yeah, I can't do it.
I don't know. Yeah, we're not there yet, but
I'm gonna have to wait till I'm 84.
but that it shows that it helps give a more restful night's sleep. And of course, when it comes to lighting, if you can catch the sunset, literally your eyes are looking at the sunset. There's no interference from a window, glass, pane, or anything like that. You are outside looking at the sunset, at it get darker, or at the sunrise. That also helps reset your sleeping and waking cycle. Your body is like little clock that is like, oh, it's time to go to sleep. Oh, it's time to wake up at the right times, right? And if you have blackout blinds, blackout curtains, that can help keep your room as dark as it can possibly be. That also helps with sleep. That's also been proven in various studies.
For the same reason that your TV and your
Or
phone and your iPad messes with your sleep patterns, the street lights mess with your sleep patterns. The light frequencies are intentionally
messing with your sleep patterns,
keeping us up and alert and awake and not drifting off into sleep.
Yeah. And one of the things that I'll also mention, hormonally, when we're having trouble falling to sleep, that's also an indication that progesterone is off, especially in us ladies. If you have insomnia or trouble staying asleep, progesterone is off. You need to lean into some de-stressing activities, whether that's journaling or employing some of these things that we did, or like breath work, just taking a moment to breathe, or listen to music or something that kind of gets your stress levels down. Go for a walk, or you can also lean into some foods, like the foods that help rebuild progesterone, like tropical fruits, especially during breakfast time. Or if you like sweet potato, incorporating a sweet potato in your meal or some pumpkin seeds in your meal will help build up progesterone to bring that back into balance. Because when you're starting to feel anxious or trouble sleeping or mood swings or anything like that, that's a big warning sign. Progesterone, honey, is like, yo, we need a chill vibe. Please just give me a chill vibe. And that could be in the form of a comfort food, a nature's carb like sweet potato as well.
Yeah. All right. So hopefully this episode was a big help to you guys.
Yeah.
We do this podcast early in the morning, so maybe you're getting ready to go back to sleep. Who knows?
We
But
do it out of love.
we do it because we have a schedule.
That too.
But get yourself a copy of my book. It's called Culture Control: Why the Love of Money is Objectively the Root of All Evil, by me, Soul Expression. Well, yeah.
Coach Soul.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Gotta show the book, right?
Pow ting. It's an amazing read. A lot of people are getting it all over the United States. We got Florida, we got Delaware, we have
New York.
Texas, we have New York, well, Jersey.
Oh.
Oh no, and did Queenie get it? She will in New York.
Yeah.
We have people from all over are getting this book. They're getting into it, and they are leaving really, really, really good things to say about it in the reviews. So definitely get you a copy of Culture Control. Like the page, like the video, subscribe to the channel, follow the page, and tomorrow is Fuel Day. We will see you guys for some fuel up tips.
Yes, indeedy. Zabertini. Love y'all. Take care.